Okay, guys, so today is going to be a different video, unlike any other thing I've ever posted. I plan on doing more videos like this because I actually want to do a sub channel on my channel, which is going to be called Cooking Crispy with Christy. I wanted something that was catchy, but for the people that know me personally, know that I love to cook. I am Puerto Rican along with a little bit of Sicilian because my grandfather is Sicilian, but my grandfather died when I was young, so I never really got to know that side of me. But I want to give you guys some great Puerto Rican recipes. So I am actually showing you guys everything that you'll need. Today we will be making, it's called in Spanish arroz con salchicha, but it's basically yellow rice with Vienna sausages in it. My son is a 4-year-old. He's watching Toy Story. I'm sure you hear that in the background. But my son loves this dish, and I'm actually going to pair it with some fried chicken. So for people that don't know Puerto Rican style cooking, it's basically super seasoned. We love everything that's very seasoned, hence why you see all this here. But basically what you're going to need is corn oil to cook with. This is actually tomato sauce. I will show you exactly the can in a few moments, but I put it in this little container and I put it in the fridge whenever I open one up. But this is the brand I like to use, Goya tomato sauce. This is the only brand that I use. So we're going to use less than this can here, but you're going to need one can. Sazon Goya, these are a staple for every Puerto Rican household. This, I actually like to use it con cilantro y achiote, which is, if you guys see the packaging, I will show you guys the packaging. So this is what the packaging looks like. But you're going to need 2 packets of this, basically. You're also going to need some salt. I like to use 2 cans of the Lippy's chicken Vienna sausage. So 2 of these. This, I'm going to give you this serving. This serving is actually going to be for 2 people and 1 child. So if you plan on doing more, then you can just measure it accordingly. But this is basically for 2 servings and 1 child. So 2 adult servings and 1 child. Okay, we're going to need some Goya Adobo, of course. This is the red. They usually have different ones with different tops. This is the red top. Some garlic powder. This is the breast fillets. These are no growth promoting antibiotics, individually wrapped, boneless and skinless. So it's easier to prepare and cook. Along with that, you're going to need a rice pot. Now this I know looks old, but if you're like old school Puerto Rican, you know that the oldest pots are like the best to cook with. So this is my rice pot. I have these in different sizes. I actually got this in Walmart and they're super cheap, but I just love this pot for rice. This is my favorite pot. And I have some Martha Stewart pots. I have like the most expensive. I have so many expensive pots, but I love these for rice. So these you can purchase in Walmart and they're super cheap. Like I think it was like $10. Like it was ridiculously cheap. But to me, these are my favorite when it comes to rice. You're also going to need a frying pan. Obviously, I can't believe I forgot it, but you're going to need rice. I like to store my rice in this big thing. I got this from Walmart as well. And I just purchased this in Walmart. This is just a measuring cup. I like to measure my rice just so that way it's consistent with the rice and water ratio because I like it a certain way. Other people who have cooked for a long time don't measure it, but it's great that I'm measuring it for you guys because you guys get to see exactly how much. So, of course, you need rice along with everything else. I will list everything down in the description. If you hear my son playing in the background, I am so sorry, but this is the life of a mother. And I wanted to make it very real and realistic for you guys, just so you guys can see how it is. If you guys enjoy this type of vlog and want to see more of this, because I plan on doing more recipes for you guys, especially for the holidays. Please give it a like or comment down below, whatever you would like to see. I hope you are subscribed to the channel, because if you aren't, shame on you. But subscribe if you haven't already, and we're going to jump right into it. Okay, guys, so when you open up the Vienna sausages, this is basically what they look like. So what you want to do is basically cut them in little pieces. I will show you the end result so we can speed up the process of this video. So after you cut them in little pieces, this is what they look like. They don't have to be evenly cut, but basically this is the size you want. And I just cut them with a butter knife. So very simple. Now, after you thoroughly cleaned your rice, which I'm sure many of you know how to clean rice, I am pouring 1 full cup of rice along with just a teensy bit over half a cup of rice. Now, the good thing about using a measuring cup is you can measure the rice to the water ratio. So for me, because I'm using a cup and a half, I like to pour 2.5 cups of water. So we have our 2 cans of Vienna sausages in here, along with 1.5 cups of rice and 2.5 cups of water. Again, my rice is already cleaned, so just keep that in mind. You have to obviously clean your rice before you start this. Okay, with my adobo, I don't really measure it. I just go by me looking at it, just because, like, if you're a person that has cooked for a really long time, which I have, you already know just by looking at it. So I just want to show you guys so you know how much I'm putting. So I'm basically just pouring an even amount on top like that, just so you guys see exactly what it looks like. I am using a full packet of Sazon. So that's the full packet. Next is the tomato sauce. I like to put it in a little Tupperware and put it in the fridge once I open a can up, and I don't like to, throw out the rest. So to save, I put it in a little Tupperware and put it in the fridge and use it for the next time I cook. So you basically want to apply this much, which I would say is about 1/4 of the can. Now, I forgot to show you the sofrito in the original list of things that you needed, but I will list it down below and I will make a note of it. Basically, this is the sofrito I use. Of course, I know how to make my own sofrito, but being a busy mom and cooking every single day, I have resorted in this can one, which is just as great. Well, it's not a can, it's a bottle, but it's just as great, works fine, tastes delicious. So this is the one I use. It's the Goya Sofrito tomato cooking base. So you want to get a big spoon and be generous with it. So I grab 1 big spoon and then I grab another. Place it in there. Okay. Along with that, you're going to grab your salt. Same thing. I don't measure it. I just do it according to how I feel, which was exactly what you saw. I take the same spoon. I like to use the same spoon and just mix the ingredients together. There's gonna be clumps of sofrito, but that's fine because once you cook it, it'll basically all go in the rice. Now you can apply Spanish olives with this. I don't, because my son is 4 years old and he hates olives. Then you're going to take your corn oil. Using the same spoon, you want to pour, I would say, like a nickel size of oil. Not very much because you don't want the rice to taste oily and too soggy. So this actually is a great amount. And you just turn it in here. Now, of course, Everyone cooks different. Puerto Ricans cook different from each other. We don't all have the same recipes, but this to me is the easiest, the fastest. When you become a mother or a parent in general, you try to think of the fastest ways to cook something and while tasting delicious. So I'm just giving you the fast, easy, tasty recipe. So this is basically prepared. Once it's completely prepared, I then place it on the stove. I like to put it, I have a gas stove, which to me is my favorite, but if you have an electronic stove, it'll work just the same. I like to put it the notch before high. So one notch before high. So on 8, and I leave it there without the lid. We'll put the lid on once the water evaporates, but you leave it on there on high without the lid. This is the fastest way to cook rice. Usually there's other ways and it takes about an hour. Honestly, I can cook rice in like 20 minutes, which is insane, but you learn different techniques as you continue cooking. So the time now is 1:37 and I just put it in just so you guys get a timestamp. Now these chicken fillets I love because they're fresh and natural. They're basically peeled. They're basically prepared. So I like to buy these. These I find in the supermarket, in your local commissary, but I'm sure the supermarket has them as well. And basically you just want to take them out of the plastic, wash them thoroughly, rinse, and cut them in small pieces. I will cut all that out of the video just because I want to save you guys time. Make sure you wash your meats before you cook them. So with the 2 breast fillets, I cut them in half first. So this is a fillet and it's cut in half. And this is 1 fillet. It's already cleaned. So it looks like 4 pieces, but it's actually 2 breast fillets. I don't like my chicken too thick. I've never liked any of my, whether it's pork chops, I've never liked anything thick in size. So this is how I do it. Now I'm going to show you 2 ways. Surprise, surprise. I will show you a frying way to do it and one in the oven. My husband prefers it more in the oven because he's on his healthy kick now, or as healthy as he can be. So I will show you 2 different ways to make the chicken. My son likes it fried. Of course, I make it for him boiled as well, but he loves fried chicken, and the way I make it is in little pieces. I will show you that as well. So this is how I prepare it first. Now, for my son, I'm going to cut them smaller. I will show you. For my husband, I will keep them like this. And these will be the oven ones. So I will show you that all in a second. So as you guys can see, I have set aside my husband's pieces. But this is my son's pieces that I will be frying. Now, before you guys come for me in the comments, because I know there's always a few that are super negative Nancy's, this is not a channel for that. My son, yes, does eat fried chicken. No, he doesn't eat candy. No, he doesn't eat sweets. And he doesn't have any cavities. So whoever has comments on, oh my God, you feed your child fried chicken. Yes, I do. But he eats vegetables. He eats fruits as well. So that's just how I like to do it. Anyway, going along, I will show you guys the rice. The water is starting to evaporate. What you want to do is lower the heat a little bit. So I like to lower it to a 4. So get a big cooking spoon. And you see how it's pretty much, all the water is pretty much evaporated. Now, some Spanish people like pegao, which is a term that us Puerto Ricans use, which is basically the hard rice that gets on the bottom of the pan. Me personally, I hate pegao. I've never liked it. I never liked the taste of it. I just don't like it. So me, I am trying to avoid, you see, getting the hard rice from sticking. So I'm just basically making sure, for the most part, the rice isn't stuck on the bottom. Now, as you can see, pretty much the water is evaporated. So we will put it down to a 2, which is, so it's 1 notch after the low nozzle. So it's on 2. And I want to put the lid on. So you put the lid on, put it down to 2, and just let it cook. Then going back to the chicken, of course, if you have long sleeves, make sure you take them out of the way because it's going to get a little messy. But we're going to take our adobo and generously apply on the chicken. Okay, so there's our adobo. We're going to take our garlic powder, do the same. Okay. Then we'll be taking our remainder Sazon packet. Now, normally I don't use the whole packet. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll save, if I'm making 2 chickens, like one for my husband and one for my son, what I'll do is I'll save half for my husband's piece. So you don't want to go too crazy with Sazon when it comes to chicken because then it'll taste too salty. So lighter hand, and you're just lightly sprinkling it on. See, that's basically it. You don't want to apply more than that. Now you see there's still some, actually a lot left. We're going to save this for these chicken pieces. So we'll put that to the side and just mix. Now I'm holding my phone with one hand while I'm mixing, but here we go. Of course, you want to turn on. Now, my frying pan, I basically put the corn oil inside. As you can see, the amounts, it just covers the whole top of the pan. Well, not the top, I guess the bottom. It covers the whole bottom of the pan, just a light coat. You don't want to apply too much oil because then, of course, it's going to be oily. And what I do is I put the burner on medium. So whatever your medium is, whether you have an electronic or a gas stove, you just want to put it on medium. And again, we're mixing this chicken up. I have long nails, so for the people that say, oh my God, how do you do it with long nails? I've been doing it forever. I cook, I clean, and my nails are just fine. I guess you just have to get a good nail tech, which I have one. So there that is. Then we're going to place them in the frying pan. So this is what they look like in the frying pan. They look orange, obviously, because of the sazon. But this is how us Puerto Ricans do it. So for the oven, I like to put my oven on 350 so it can start preheating. Now for the pan, all I did was just watered it down so all the previous seasonings from my son's chicken was out, just so we can have a clean slate for this chicken, even though it's pretty much the same ingredients with a little bit more. Now my husband, he likes spicy food. He likes overly seasoned things. So I like to place a little bit more ingredients in his chicken, especially when it's baked, because baked, as you know, for some reason, it almost takes out some of the seasoning. For some reason, it just, I don't know, it like blinds it up a little bit. So I will show you guys a way. So with the oven preheating, take some, this is Kirkland cooking spray. I got this in Costco, and I think they come in like a pack of 2. So you want to just coat generously the cooking pan. So it's like this. Now we're going to season our chicken. Same thing. We're going to use adobo. Now with the fried chicken, you saw I placed the ingredients. I didn't turn the chicken over. I just placed the ingredients on one side. Then I mixed it all together. This one, I like to place the ingredients on one side completely, turn them over, and place the ingredients on the other side as well. Just so you guys see. So the adobo's there. This is the garlic powder. You're not applying as much as you would the frying one. I like to get some onion powder for him. Like that. He likes pepper as well, so applying some pepper. And I know it sounds crazy, but it tastes really good. It sounds like it's a lot of ingredients, but it tastes really, really good. Salt. Salt you want to do very little. So literally just like sprinkling a little on there. After that, you take your packet of Sazon, the one that we had saved. And it's, again, a light sprinkle. Don't go crazy. Literally like that. With your hand, massage it in. Make sure you get the sides. So that's one side done. Again, you're going to repeat on the other side. So again, adobo. Garlic powder. Pepper. Doesn't have to be in the same steps, just as long as you use exactly what you used on the other side. Onion powder. You're doing everything at a light sprinkle since you're applying so much ingredients. The salt. Very little of that. And the remainder of the packet of Sazon. Actually, not even the remainder, because look, I still have some left. You don't want to go crazy with it, like I said. Massaging it in. There it is. So there is your seasoned chicken that we will be putting in the oven. Placing them on the baking pan, just like this. Okay, so the oven is almost completely preheated. What I like to do is I just place it in the oven, even though it hasn't been completely preheated yet, but whatever. Checking on the fried chicken, this is what it should look like. It's starting to get hardened on the bottom. You want that. This is going to be crispy, obviously. Checking on the rice. Isn't that gorgeous? The rice, you want to just turn. And this is basically done. Again, like I said, I like my rice on the softer side, so this consistency. We place it at 137. It is now 205, and it is done. So that is fairly quick for rice. You see there's still some stuck on the bottom, but it's not completely like burnt. So the rice is completely done. So you can turn off. Oh, there goes the oven. warning me that it's completely preheated and it's ready. But I already placed the chicken on there. So this is our rice. This you can eat by itself. Some people like to eat it with beans. I don't. I like to eat it by itself. But you can also get some can of corn and eat it with that as well. Or any type of canned vegetable you like. I like to just eat it by itself, and so does my son, and so does my husband. So this rice is completely done. We'll keep the lid on. For the chicken, I literally use a regular fork. People might think I'm crazy, but I'm literally just turning them over. We like to cook it so it looks like this. This is almost like a chicharrón de pollo sin hueso kind of deal for Puerto Rican style, where it's like little chicken fillet pieces. So these, you can tell they still need to be cooked on the side, but that's okay. I like to turn them over. Some of them will still need to be cooked, like that one as well. There it is. You continue to let it do its thing. The chicken is in the oven, cooking, doing its thing. You wait a little bit. Okay, now checking on my baked chicken. You see how it looks kind of dry? That's the consistency we want in order to turn it over. So once you turn it over, it should look like this. Again, I use a regular fork. Don't mind me. But see? So it looks like that. And I just put it back in the oven. Well, it is in the oven, but, you know, I just close the door. For the fried chicken, what I placed was a paper towel. I like to place a paper towel on a plate and just put the chicken on there, just so the grease, you know, for the most part, kind of gets off of the chicken. And depending on how crispy you want it, you can determine and take it out when you feel you're comfortable with it. My son likes it a little more on the crispy side, like this. So I just do it like that. And for the chicken that looks, see, this looks a little bit less crispy, you just turn it over and watch it. These are the pieces left. This is the pieces that are done. You see the oil is soaking off of the chicken. I just like to do that whenever I do fried chicken. It's a great way for it not to be so oily, especially if you're eating it with your hands, which my son does. So these are the chicken pieces completed. I like to leave them on here just for a little bit, just to soak up all the oil. Checking on the chicken again, I just flipped them over again. Just because I like to flip them, I would say like every 5 minutes, just so they're evenly cooked on both sides. You see, it's basically cooked, but my husband likes it a little bit more cooked. So this, again, I don't want to give you a time on. I'm just showing you exactly what it should look like, because it really depends on how well baked you want it. You can tell it's already pretty much cooked, but I'm going to leave it in here for a few more minutes. So depending how much your family eats, this is one serving. Super delicious looking. This is what is still left. So you can determine how much you want to cook depending on how much your family eats. My husband eats like pig. And he's skinny. I don't know how he does it, but he eats a lot. So this should be for basically me and him. I only eat like a small portion and he'll eat the rest. But this is to show you portion wise what is left after I serve this. Okay, this fake chicken is basically done. I'm going to leave it probably in here for another, I would say 3 more minutes, just so it gets a little bit more brown on the edges. And then I will turn it off, but leave it in the oven because my husband is still working. This is the completed look of the fried chicken with the arroz con salchicha. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different compared to what I normally do. I didn't want to do any voiceovers. I wanted it to be raw and pretty much unedited for the most part, just so you guys see and feel the real experience of a Puerto Rican household and how we cook. If you guys are interested in any more type of recipes, please let me know down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I hope you are subscribed, but if you aren't, then please. Also, just to let you guys know, I am still doing a Halloween contest. If you guys haven't heard of my Halloween contest, please go to my Instagram. It has the post on there and it explains all the details. But basically, I'm doing a Halloween contest and gifting the winner a box of new trendy makeup. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.